Hey peeps, we are back. We are talking The Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 14, episode 4. Hey, before we get into the video, please do me the honors of subscribing to my channel, hitting the notification bell so you can always be notified when I post new content, hitting the thumbs up because that does wonders for my channel, and share. Thanks. Okay, so I heard that they do have a cast trip this season. And the cast was supposed to go to Africa, but due to C-19 reasons, they ended up going to Jamaica. So I think this will be very interesting considering that Sanya is from Jamaica. She has a lot of family and friends there, so this should be interesting to see how that goes.
Oh, here comes some little builders. Child, one took about 20 years to build her house, and the other one's still building.
I thought this was shady as hell. I said, you invited them to ask for their assistance, but you want to talk crazy about Kenya and Sheree and how long it took for them to build their homes. One thing is for sure, it may have taken a long time, but both of their homes are beautiful. We find out that Marlo's new house has gone over budget, so she has to have 1,500 square feet removed from the house. And Lord have mercy, she wants to have a whole lot of closets in her house. And her closet next to her bedroom is 800 square feet, but her bedroom is 500 square feet. That does not make sense to me when you also have 3 or 4 other closets throughout the house. But you know what? Marlo is a style queen. You know what I mean? She is all about the fashions and she has a lot of clothes. So I guess she needs all this extra space. I mean, I believe Erica Jane's closet was a lot bigger than hers, and Jen Shaw. With her developing this house and having this small business that she just opened, I am starting to wonder a little bit where Marlo's money comes from. Now, before I said I didn't really care, it's not my business, it's not my money, but I'm getting a little interested. I would like to know where all her money is truly coming from. Sometimes I think of the old 90s TV show Martin.
Well, I don't see how you can be with somebody and you don't even know what they do for a living. Man, we hang out with you and we don't know what you do for a living.
I always think about that when they ask Marlo where her money comes from. It is hilarious. We find out that when they go to New York, Kenya is going to have her au pair. I thought that was really funny. I said she went from nanny to the official au pair. She's going to have her au pair drop Brooklyn off with Mark because she doesn't want to see him. And I totally get that. I would not want to see him either. That Tyrone is supposed to visit Sheree in New York. Even though he's on house arrest, he's allowed to be within a 100-mile radius. And New York is within the 100-mile radius from where he lives. So he's supposed to come to New York to see Sheree and the play and all the ladies. And Sheree is really excited about this. However, looking at the previews for next week, I don't think Tyrone is going to show up. They talk a little bit about Drew and her behavior at Brooklyn's tea party. And I have to agree with Kenya and Sheree. Drew has a whole lot going on at home, and she should really be focused on her big mouth assistant and her cheating, lying, gaslighting ass husband, Ralph, instead of being all in Sheree's business and causing a scene in public. We see Candy and Todd go for a little bit of a walk, and she asked Todd to invite the husbands on the trip to New York because she believes that the wives act a little better when the husbands are around.
Feel you on that.
Why do you do that laugh after everything?
Does anybody think that Todd is getting tired of her? I mean, after all this time of being together, her laugh is starting to bother you. You just now asking her why she laughs after everything. I think Todd is getting tired. They do agree to go see the place in Jersey. And I just want to say, listen, I don't know why she has such a big problem with this place. It can be an investment. Allow the man to make the renovations and rent the place out. She doesn't have to live there. You know, it's just crazy to me that she doesn't want him to have this condo. He paid for it. I think this is something that they really could compromise on. It doesn't make sense. When Drew was at the tea party, she mentioned that she had 3 assistants, but Bravo keeps showing us 4 assistants. And did anybody notice that when they showed Anthony, it said assistant number 2 on probation. I said, you know what? The editors for Atlanta are totally different than the editors for the rest of the franchise. Listen, the Atlanta editors are killing it this season. I appreciate it. Then Ralph and Drew have a counseling session with Dr. Ken. And I would just personally like to say that Dr. Ken needs to go on somewhere. Who they need. Okay, well, actually, they need a divorce. But if they have decided to go to counseling, do you know who I think they should see? They need to see the counselor from Love and Marriage Huntsville. I cannot for the life of me right now remember that man's name, but Lord have mercy, the guy from Love and Marriage Huntsville, he pulls no punches and he is straight. He will call the husband out. He will call the wife out. This man is awesome. I would rather have him than Dr. King.
I feel like Drew doesn't respect me, doesn't appreciate me. Give her steak and lobster that night. That night, she deserved the Lunchable.
No yelling, no attacking under any circumstance. Whatever he wants, which would probably be like sex 5 times a day. You will be his servant. I mean, he could take care of everything with the kids.
I thought that Dr. Ken was full of shit. So Drew's punishment is to perform sexual for her husband up to possibly 5 times a day. But Ralph's punishment is being more present and a helpful partner? What the hell? I just thought that was sexist and too much. Get the hell out of here, sir. As a woman, her punishment should be to sexually please this jackass? Oh, wow. Sir, please. No, thank you. No, thank you. Get me the man from Love and Marriage Huntsville. Actually, if that was me, get me a nice divorce attorney. I can't. Ralph is garbage. That Lunchable comment would have had me get up, grab my cell phone, and search top divorce attorneys in Atlanta. I don't play that. And you know what I didn't like? He's all upset that she ruined the evening. Here you are talking about you want to make her feel like a queen after you've made her feel like crap. So she's supposed to just accept, oh, he did something nice for me. It's steak and lobster and a lot of flowers. I can forgive all this other crap. One night? Boy, bye. Go on some damn where. So this decision that they're going to try to go 30 days without being disrespectful, without raising their voice, that's never going to happen. That's never going to happen. Just, put his stuff out on the front lawn and call you a divorce attorney. Change the locks and the security code. He is for the streets. Now, Candy's sending that invitation with that half-naked woman and that half-naked man. Let me just say, that woman's body was everything. Okay, I was here for it. She was really pretty. Candy does a little too much. And I did notice that Sheree and Marlo did not get the special invites. It was just too much. It really was. And then Marlo, I don't know if she was jealous that she didn't get the special panties and the invite. She's going to talk to Drew on the phone and walk Drew through her panty drawer. No, thank you, ma'am. So when Kenya meets up with the rest of the group on the Sprinter van to head off to the airport, she is really thrown back by the fact that all the husbands are there. And she makes this comment, when did this become a couple's trip? And they showed a little flashback. And in the flashback, Candy clearly stated that you could invite your husband, you could invite your boyfriend. And Kenya says, oh, I could find a date. But she didn't. So Candy did give you a little bit of a heads up. She told you can invite a date, and she told the women they could bring their husbands. Sheree was feeling awkward being on the Sprinter van with Ralph and Drew. However, she says that she's fine, but if they try anything, she is definitely with it, and she also has receipts. I don't know why she was worried anyway, because I'm pretty sure that Sheree could hold her own, not only with Drew, but Ralph too. Ralph just doesn't come off as bright, in my opinion.
I have a lot going on. I'm trying to coordinate a nanny, traveling with Brooklyn. Who has time to be putting on vibrating panties?
Now, honey, listen, Kenya, if you had a man there controlling that remote, I think you would have a different opinion. I'm just saying, I would. You know, I understand where she's coming from. Don't get me wrong. She's busy. She's doing a lot of stuff. You know, she doesn't have time for these vibrating panties, but I'm just saying, I'm busy and I'm doing a lot of stuff too. But if I had a hot boyfriend on the trip, honey, here's my remote. I'm just saying. Moving on. So when they get to this hotel, you know how normally when they go on trips and they show the hotel rooms, I'm all, oh my gosh, did you guys see that? That was so beautiful. That was so, I wasn't crazy about this hotel. Anyway, that front desk gave a lot of nothing. It was no razzle dazzle to this hotel. Anyway, this is not a hotel review. So they decide to play this little game to decide who gets the suite in this particular penthouse.
On the way to Dubai, yes.
I feel like Sonya has never had sex outside her bed, to be honest.
We got him busy in the ocean, in the middle. The whales was in there. You know.
Y'all must have been far out.
A whale at the beach? Wouldn't a whale get stuck in the sand?
We had to follow the trail of blood, and it led into like this little cavern, and then we started having sex in the cavern. And
Kenya's story is some bullshit.
Honey, now, listen. Sonya's husband is hot as hell. And if I was Sonya, he could have it wherever he wanted. But somehow, I agree with Drew. I think she hasn't been anywhere but in their bedroom. I'm just saying. However, I do think Drew should mind her business. Because where is Ralph having the sex? I'm just saying. Tampa. I thought that Drew and Ralph was also lying. I agree with Candy when she said, how far out were you? Because you have to be out quite a bit for the whales. You know, the whales don't just wash up close to the beach. I mean, not that I've seen. However, I have to tell you, when I go to the beach, I go out up to the knee. Okay? Just to the knee. For several reasons. One reason is if I'm just in the water up to the knee, I can see if a shark is coming my way. The second reason is I have no chance of being taken by a tidal wave or anything else because I'm just up to the knee. You know what I mean? I don't play that. I don't go out deep. No, ma'am. Now, Kenya in this story, girl, listen, I have to agree with Candy. It was the imagination for me. I said, you know what? This is perfect for a mommy. You know, you gotta have imagination. There's no way that this woman that we know as Kenya Moore is out hunting coyotes, and she is definitely too bougie to be giving it up in a cave or a cavern. No, ma'am, that's a lie. But here's the room key for writing such a beautiful lie. Then we see Sonya talking to her husband, and she was telling him what happened at the tea party, and she is now considering breaking up her friendship with Drew because she says that if Drew has such a messy assistant and she has such a hard time cutting him off, maybe Drew is as messy as he is because she would believe him over her friend Sheree. And the problem I have with that is I think that Sonya believes that Drew and Sheree are friends. Drew and Sheree are not friends. They just met. Also, I think that Sonya doesn't have all the details, and I think that when she had that car accident, Drew came and picked you up. So even though I think Drew's behavior at the event was too much, I think Sonya should give Drew a little leadway because Drew has been your friend, not Sheree's, and you just met Sheree as well. So give Drew a little leadway, you know, let her prove to you that she is messy before you just cut her off. You know, does that make sense? Get down in the comments and let me know. Am I reading this totally wrong? I do think that Drew is messy, but she hasn't done anything to Sonya. So Sonya shouldn't cut her off right away. Now, Marlo making this comment to Sheree, do you think that Todd is seeing somebody? I really think that Marlo, who has no man, who never shows up with a man, should really just shut the hell up. Stay out of these people's business. Nobody has came out except for a couple seasons back when Portia had a few comments. Marlo should just leave Candy and Todd alone.
I'm from here. The thing is, I'm always on your turf. I'm in Atlanta with you, your family, and everything that makes you comfortable.
I want you to live in this world a little.
Yeah. Sometimes when you're always the focal point, you don't realize when you don't be attentive to others.
Now, my thing with Todd and Candy is when you come out in front of a group and you start talking about your relationship and you talk about your relationship issues, this gives the group free reign to comment and be a part. So later on, when people are commenting and being a part of your relationship, you really don't have the right to say, stay out of our business because you brought your business to us. Does that make sense? Well, the first thing I would like to say is on the bus, did anybody notice that Marlo slept on Kenya's shoulder the entire Sprinter van ride to New Jersey? I said that they have come a long way. They really have. Well, Marlo's comment about Todd, Marlo is coming hard for Todd. I think she's trying to take Mama Joyce's place. Leave this man alone, Marlo. I think I can see where Todd is coming from. You know, when he married Candy, she was the most famous out of the two of them. She has all the money. He moved into the properties that she owned. He was producing the Real Housewives, but once he got with her, they had to let him go because of, company policy. And so she has always had the upper hand in the relationship. The one who makes all the money, the one who owns all the property, that person is usually the person that holds the power in a relationship. And now he is trying to establish himself. I think that he has taken so much slack from fans and friends and family. Oh, it's your wife's money you're using. You're doing this because it's your wife. You wouldn't have this if it wasn't for her. I think he just wants something of his own. And that is another reason I think he should be able to have his apartment or condo. He paid for it with his money, and he should be able to use it as a rental property or an Airbnb or as a guest house or whatever. That should be something that he should be able to do. And I don't think that Candy should be angry with him for having that. Todd wants to be a man of the industry. He wants to be successful in this entertainment industry and as a restaurateur. And if he can do it, she should allow him, because Candy is successful in all of the things that she does. Allow your husband to have a little shine too. Am I wrong, married couples? People who are married, get down in the comments and let me know. Am I reading this wrong? So when they go to the condo, Kenya has decided that she's going to show off her interior design skills. She lets Todd know exactly what needs to be updated, what needs to be done. She had ideas and thoughts. I said I would not be surprised in a year or two if we see her in her own HGTV show wearing a hard hat. She looked cute in a little hard hat. When they showed that view from the rooftop, I said, oh, hell no. There was no way that I would sell that place. You've got that spectacular view. No, ma'am. That place would be rented out. And Marlo calling that woman a bootleg contractor. Marlo is hilarious. Leave Kenya alone. I would trust Kenya with a remodel. Candy is still not feeling the condo. She doesn't want to stay there, but Sanya made a good comment. She says, well, you guys are going to be gutting this place. When you gut this place and some of the walls are going to be torn down, there's going to be so much upgrades and remodels to this place that it's going to be your place. It's going to be the place for both of you. She says it's not like his old bed is still here and you're going to leave everything exactly the same, the old furniture and everything. I don't understand why Candy is having such a big problem. But when they were on their way walking out of the apartment, she told Todd, just go ahead and do it. It didn't sound as if she had changed her mind at all. They get to dinner, and I don't know if maybe production wanted Drew to bring up these problems in her and Ralph's relationship, but I'm just not sure why they need to talk about it so much. I mean, I do realize that Sanya brought up the fact that Candy's not wearing her wedding ring, but Todd is, and that Drew is not wearing her wedding ring. But if I was Drew, I wouldn't be wearing my wedding ring, and Ralph wouldn't even be at the table. So I'm fine with that.
For 30 days, we can't, argue, attack each other. Well, good luck. Good luck.
They're going to have to keep repeating this challenge for eternity.
Now, honey, listen. Candy hit the nail on the head. You will be repeating this forever.
He's an asshole.
We never talked about a prenup history.
Let me say this to you right now. If my husband said that to me, I would flip this table over because that is so disrespectful. You just said basically she's lying. You're tearing her down.
Kenya's actually communicating exactly how I feel.
Ralph, stop. What is the laugh for?
It's you though. I'm gonna stop pointing at Ralph. It's you two though. He's only doing what you allow.
Bravo editors, the original gaslighters. I'm telling you, Mark and Ralph are numbers 1 and 2 in the worst housewife husbands through all the history of all the franchises. Even though I have never seen Dallas and I've only seen 1 season of Miami, and that was years ago when they first came out, their very first season. When Marlo says, I'm staying single, shit. I said, oh gosh, Marlo, I feel you. I think that Kenya was the MVP of this dinner. I really appreciate her calling Ralph out for his gaslighting, his treatment of Drew. I do realize that Ralph absolutely triggered Kenya because him and Mark could be brothers. They are very, very similar. They really are. I appreciate that she absolutely stood up for Drew, but I also appreciate that she called Drew out on her, mess as well. As soon as Kenya went in on Ralph, the rest of the group decided to jump in too. And I said, oh, this is great. One thing I thought when I was watching the show is maybe Ralph should spend a little more time with Todd. The way Todd brings up situations and issues with Candy is a lot better than the way Ralph brings it up. Because even though Todd is feeling some kind of way, he doesn't attack Candy. He doesn't belittle her. He tries to get his point of view out there without hurting his wife and without raising his voice. And when Marlo made this comment that she wasn't, I can't remember the exact words that Marlo said, so I'm paraphrasing. She made a comment saying she wasn't going to feel real bad for Drew because a man can only treat you the way you let him. When she said that, my head just sparked because my mom has always told me and my siblings the same thing. A man or a woman can only treat you the way you allow them to treat you, because you need to teach them how to love you. And once you have given them a chance to love you the way that you want to be loved, the way you need to be loved, and they don't, goodbye. My mom has always said that. She is one person that does
I am the type of person that if you don't start, no, won't be none. But if you bring it to me, it's going to go.
You do realize that your assistant is the one who originated that statement that she said?
But I don't have any evidence of that.
Hold on 1 second. This is Anthony. He sends me this picture. He said, Dennis and Drew, baby daddy, husband. And I have more scoop on him, too. So I'm making things up because he had already told me that you were gay.
That what?
That you were gay.
Who?
Anthony.
Like this whole Anthony situation. Oh my God. Sheree pulled out the receipts, and I have a feeling that she has a few more receipts. And I also have a feeling that as soon as Ralph gets home, Anthony is going to be off probation and fired. And it was something else too. Earlier in the episode, Drew was asked by production how probation was going, and she made this comment that Ralph works for corporations and there are rules to firing people. There are steps to firing people. I said, well, what happened to the steps to firing Ralph's assistant? Because she didn't get any probation. She was just fired, according to Drew. I think Ralph kept that woman for quite some time. But honey, listen, the room went quiet when Sheree said, Anthony said you were gay. Okay, Drew's face, but the best for me, the editors are on point, was Todd drinking that beer. All of a sudden, you could hear the gulps and everything. I said, oh, Lord. Listen, I cannot wait to see next week's episode. Get down in the comments and let me know what you guys think. And until next time, bye.